Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Well, let's talk about retirement and let's talk about uncertainty, because those are for certain the top two topics that we continue to hear from boomers and retirees, like many of you from around the country, and for good reason. You know, if you look at what Dr. Fauci just came out with, sadly reported this week, we keep hitting new records, which are not the records we're looking for. Although the stock market records are great, which is why this is very unprecedented to think that the country's now logged over 155,596 new cases. Now listen, and 1,189 new deaths just this past Saturday. And yet the stock market continues to hit new record after new record after new record. And many of you have shared, Chuck, we can't afford to take another major correction or a crash. What can we do to get our serious retirement savings secure and safe? And I think about Nylene, who I'll talk to you about, just like you. Nylene's from Illinois. She's in her mid-60s, and she's retired. And she, as she put it, is scared to death. In fact, these are her words, not mine. She said, I've been working with a friend that has a relationship with somebody, kind of one of these national retail brokerages. She goes, but the one missing piece that continues to never be put on the table are when I ask about what are we doing to safeguard my savings from taxes. And there's silence, crickets, whatever you want to say. And folks, we hear this routinely. I mean, we've got clients that tell us the excuses they've heard are, well, taxes are just a way of life. Death and taxes are certain. Taxes just have to be part of the equation. Folks, that's not true. Now, here's what she was really concerned with. Her mother lived beyond age 100. And she said, Chuck, I've got major longevity challenges, right? And I'm really worried sick that I'm going to outlive my money. And, I want to improve my income because the longer I live, the more inflation is going to hit. So I need my income to continue to escalate. And she said, real estate taxes, just as an example, are outrageous here in Illinois. And taxes, as they've been put on the docket for raising state income tax in Illinois, and if not, taxing retirement income, has many that we work with, whether it's Illinois or Arizona or the states that obviously are looking for more taxes. It's not just the federal government, folks. It's from property taxes to state taxes and you name it. She said, you know what, I'm really worried sick. Well, folks, it doesn't have to be that way. And here were her goals: creating tax savings planning, creating a tax-free lifetime income, one in which she cannot outlive, solutions to avoid required minimum distributions, and eliminating market losses without giving up market upside gains, as well as eliminating a lot of what we call phantom income in her after-tax brokerage account. Folks, she accomplished all of them. In fact, she was able to do a Roth conversion and use a little-known tax deduction in the Tax Cut and Jobs Act provisions that the deduction was used to zero out her Roth conversion tax. It also enabled her to create a lifetime income free of taxation, but also free from corrections or crashes that last year did over almost 12%. The year before, it did over, last 2 years, it's done over 10%. The last 10 years has done over 7%, taking no downside risk, folks, with the ability to not, force you to lock up your money. So you still have access, but you have upside without downside and access. And this is what it's all about. If she said, Chuck, at the end of the day, it's all about getting money safe. And I teach SAFE, which I'll be teaching this coming Tuesday, is a simple acronym. The S stands for secure from losses. Folks, that's the number one thing that people can do, is secure themselves from losses, because losses come from a lot of hidden wealth areas. Unnecessary fees, unnecessary risk. I think about the clients I talk about on Hidden Wealth Radio this weekend. We dropped their risk 72%. They had no idea they were taking that risk. If they would have stayed in that allocation and the market takes another dump, they would have not been able to be retired. Folks, you've worked hard for your money. Let's get to work. Go to retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com and register. It's a complimentary log on and learn educational webinar. And let me leave you with one final thought. Goolsbee, who was the economic advisor to Biden and Obama during those two treacherous terms where we had the slowest growth ever in our country, has suggested to Schumer and Pelosi, right? My favorite tandem of let's just put it that way. We'll leave it at that. Are trying to still push through more stimulus. And if it was going to benefit the American people, we're all for it. It was benefiting politicians and the kickbacks and the special interest groups. And so what Goolsbee said was, you know what, they should just take half a loaf now and be able to come back and get more later. Folks, it's coming. They're already suggesting, let's just get what we can get and we'll come back and get more later. Learn how to protect yourself, folks. You worked hard for your money. Learn how you can make your money work harder for you and avoid all this political nonsense and making the blunders of our federal government come after and blindside you on your taxes or your hard-earned savings in your retirement accounts. RetirementProtected.com, RetirementProtected.com. Here's to you and your hidden wealth.